Hi, I am Lamarr Townsend. I am a tarot reader, an astrologer, a psychic, and an energy channeler. And in this video, I'm here to talk about signs that you need to ground yourself. So thank you for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, comment, and share with your friends and family. Keep in touch with me on my social media pages. My Instagram is Lamarr Townsend Tarot, and my Facebook is also Lamarr Townsend Tarot, spelled just like my YouTube name. Also, when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button and hit all notifications so that you get notifications whenever I go live or upload a brand new video. So thank you for listening and watching. I do personal readings, so if you would be interested in a psychic reading, a tarot reading, an astrology reading, natal chart reading, or candle work, because I also do candle work, definitely reach out to me. I would love to read for you. I do currently have a special, the New Year 2020 special, which you get a 1 hour, or you get one candle, alright? You get a 30-minute recorded psychic tarot reading, and you get a 30-minute recorded birth chart reading, which does equal 1 hour. So, and that's for $100. I also have the $55 special currently, which is 20 minutes of a psychic tarot reading recorded and 20 minutes of a birth chart reading recorded as well. All the readings are recorded and sent to you via email. So that is my spiel. So thank you for listening and watching this far, and make sure you like the video. So I had a reading with a client this morning, and you know, the energy in the reading was kind of off at first, but slowly I got the client to open up. And we did some digging. You know, I did some energy channeling. I read a little bit of the cards for her. I even looked in her birth chart. She got an hour-long phone reading this morning. And one of the big themes for my client this morning was grounding. And the fact that a lot of the circumstances and situations that she found herself in relationship dynamics, was because she was so ungrounded, right? And she was a moon in Virgo, so, you know, when you have a moon in an earth sign, grounding is very important for you. But grounding, you know, when it comes to your emotions, is good in general in your energy, because emotions are energy, right? So that conversation with my client this morning got me to thinking, and I was out shopping today at the mall, which I don't normally do, but something told me to go out. I might find something. I was just going to window shop. I ended up getting some new shoes, which I needed because a lot of the shoes I'm wearing now either don't fit anymore, like I got them too small, or they're just coming apart, right? So, and then when I was shopping, because, you know, I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, so I'm always looking at, you know, I'm looking at the meaning of everything in my life. Mars and Mercury in Sagittarius, to be exact, Capricorn Sun, Libra Moon, Virgo Rising. I was thinking that, you know, it would be so much better if you just bought quality products, quality shoes, quality clothing, so you won't have to reinvest so much into it, you know, every year, every month, you know, or every couple of months, you know, like put your money back into having to buy something new because something else is coming apart. And it, for some reason, got me to thinking of the conversation with my client, and how my client didn't necessarily have the best quality people around her. She didn't necessarily have the best quality work situation. So we were talking about how she, you know, we need to get her to work at a, you know, work on vibrating higher, you know, vibrating to a higher frequency, having a higher vibration, having a higher energy. And that comes from letting go, you know, and letting go of what's not working for you and things like that. But when I was shopping, I was thinking about the conversation with my client earlier today and how we were talking about grounding. And she actually asked me the question of, well, what are some signs that you know you're grounded, and what are some signs that you don't know you're grounded? You know? And I was like, that was a good question. And one thing I said to her was that, you know, when you're not grounded, one sign that you're not grounded, let's just get right into the video finally. One sign that you're not grounded is that you don't feel safe in some way, shape, or form. Now, this can come in the form of you literally don't feel safe, you know, in terms of your body, your physical environment, the people you hang around, you know, or it can come in the form of you don't feel safe when it comes to your job security. You don't feel safe when it comes to your relationship security. You don't feel safe when it comes to, you know, just waking up every day and knowing that you're going to make it home safely, you know, like the bare necessity safe. If you struggle with that, that is definitely one sign that you need to ground yourself, all right? Because one sign that someone is grounded is that they feel safe, they feel protected, they feel secure. They know that no matter what happens, they're gonna be okay, and everything is gonna be okay. Everything is a lesson, you know. So that's definitely one sign that you're ungrounded, is if you don't feel safe in some way, shape, or form. All right, that's one sign you definitely need to ground yourself. One of the most number one telltale signs that you're ungrounded, though, which is number two, I guess, in this case, is that you feel anxious a lot. All right, you feel anxious, you feel worried a lot. You feel especially worried over things you can't even necessarily control, or things you have control over, or even things that you shouldn't even be worrying about, you know, are okay, but it's like you're still worrying about them. You're finding something to worry about, you know, period. That's a sign that you're ungrounded. That also relates back to feeling safe and secure in your world. When someone is grounded, they are one with the earth. Their feet are on the ground. It means that their physical feet are obviously on the ground due to gravity, but their spiritual body is also grounded. You see, when we're not grounded, all right, our spiritual body, our energy tends to be very chaotic, and it tends to be up and down, and our spirit, you know, may easily leave our body or jump out of our body and jump back in, and it's like a lot of different energies going on at once when we're ungrounded. So, you know, one sign is that you feel anxious a lot, you know, and you know that does deal with not being grounded. And one way to ground yourself with that, or you know, like I said, one way that you know you're grounded is that you're not anxious. Of course, there's gonna be anxiety every now and then. Maybe you get a little anxious before you take a test, before you have to, you know, speak in front of the public or something, or speak in front of a large crowd. Maybe you get anxious, you know, before you have to get on camera or something like that. There's always going to be a little bit of anxiety, but the groundedness tends to triumph over the initial anxiety. And you know, that's why, like, for example, you hear a lot of entertainers say at first they get really anxious before they go on stage, but once they get on stage and get in the groove, you know, it becomes natural to them. That shows that they're grounded in their craft, you know. So that's another example of being grounded. Another sign that you are ungrounded, now this can mean two things, all right, is it could mean that, one, the people around you have bad energy, or it could mean also you are ungrounded, all right? When you're around a lot of people, if you're ungrounded and you need to ground yourself, one sign, the third sign is that you're around a lot of people, or you go into large crowds and it makes you really anxious. You feel like everyone's watching you or staring at you, or you easily pick up on other people's energies because your energy is jumping in and out of your body. Other people are, you know, attaching or picking up on your energy, and there's just energy all over, like all around you. And if it makes you uneasy, if it even makes you a little bit queasy, or paranoid, those are signs that you are ungrounded and you need to ground yourself. Now, some people just naturally get really anxious in large crowds. It's you know, I think there's a phobia associated with that. That still does show ungroundedness in some way. There's something about the crowds, for example, that takes you out of your body in some way, and prevents your spirit energy from staying grounded firmly on the ground, knowing you're safe, knowing you're okay, knowing that no matter what happens, you know, you're fine. So, you know, large crowds can, like I was saying, can make some of us anxious, but you know, when we're grounded, we're able to go into large crowds, or we're able to go in a room full of a lot of people and kind of keep to ourselves, you know. Sometimes we, you know, pick up on other people's energies and get anxious, but when you're grounded, you tend to be able to differentiate, okay, this is my energy, and I think I'm just picking up on this person's angst or anxiousness. One way, like one surefire way of this is like you're just chilling like in a doctor's office, but like for some reason you start getting anxious, you know, and then you look, but this is someone who's grounded, and then you look over, and then like someone beside you is like reading a magazine but tapping their foot anxiously. It's like you're probably picking up on the fact that person is anxiously tapping up their foot, so you're able to differentiate, okay, this person's just anxious, maybe I should move away from this person so I don't pick up on this energy so quickly. These are all signs of someone who is grounded. Alright, but someone who is ungrounded automatically kind of goes into the room a little bit ungrounded. So when they're picking up on everyone else's energies, it just further makes them ungrounded. So it's one big reason why you always want to ground yourself when you go to like concerts and stuff like that. We're going to talk about how to ground yourself at the end of the video, or at the end of these signs that you're ungrounded. But you know, when you go to concerts and stuff like that, because you know, I think once, you know, sometimes when people pass out, it's just because they're like so taken out of the element at the time, obviously, right? Our spirit leaves our body, we pass out, it comes back at some point, you know, hopefully, and we're back up and we're like, what happened, you know? So grounding is so important. The fourth sign that you are ungrounded and you need to ground yourself is if you are in an environment, you're outside of your house and you feel like you're not supposed to be there, or you're like wondering, why am I here? I would rather be home, like I feel more comfortable at home. Oh my god, this is why I don't come out in the first place. You know, if you have like road rage or stuff like that, that's a sign that you're ungrounded and you need to ground yourself. Unfortunately, you know, and it is definitely frustrating, but a big lesson of, you know, and a big part of the human experience is patience and working with other people and interacting with other people, and knowing how to do that, or knowing how to, you know, work around that, cope with that in the best way that we know possible. So when someone reacts to triggers, for example, in a very angry or a very repressive, or you know, they isolate themselves kind of way, that's a sign that they're ungrounded. And there's different levels of grounding. There can be someone who's not grounded from like a traumatic kind of trauma standpoint, where it can be hard to ground yourself, you know, because it does deal with facing some issues and things like that. But you know, these are just some simple signs as to why, you know, or signs as to, you know, how someone or you may not be grounded. Alright, so how can you ground yourself? Well, one way to ground yourself is to definitely connect with the earth. So you will definitely hear a lot of people who give advice on how to ground yourself. They will say, take your shoes off and walk in the grass, walk in the sand, walk on the concrete. Hopefully you have somewhere relatively clean to take your shoes off and walk around, but that is honestly one way to ground yourself, because your physical flesh, your feet, are connecting with the earth. It's better more so if you're able to connect with something that's like literally from the earth, like grass, sand or something like that. That definitely helps to ground you and connect you to earth, because that's what grounding is all about. It's about connecting your spirit once again to the earthly realm, to earth, alright? Because our spirit can go many different places, but that would be a different type of video. Another way on that same topic is to just spend more time in nature. You know, I like to go on walks. I love a long walk, you know, in nature, on a bike trail, and it's good to go with someone else, you know, that's really, you know, kind of your vibe or your speed, someone that you can enjoy the nature walk with. Those are definitely grounding moments. So just go by yourself. Working out, ironically, is also a way to ground yourself, because it helps you to sweat. You're getting out the toxins, and toxins are kind of sometimes blockages to grounding ourselves. So another way is to remove yourself from that which is ungrounding you. So sometimes we can be in certain environments that are very chaotic, or that are very dramatic maybe, and we sometimes have to remove ourselves from those environments to ground ourselves. So just be mindful of that. That deals with being self-aware and stuff like that. Obviously there are definitely some ways to spiritually ground yourself, which is saging, smudging your space, taking spiritual baths, which are, you know, baths and a little bit of sea salt or epsom salt to cleanse your spiritual energies, because, you know, throughout the day we also attract energy, just like we attract dirt on our bodies. So it's just as important to cleanse our spiritual energies just as it is to literally cleanse our bodies, you know. So you know, an interesting way to also ground yourself is tea, like detox tea, cleansing out the inside of your body. Yoga is a good way to ground yourself. Stretching, meditating, having plants around your home, like, you know, feng shuiing your home. There's so many ways to ground yourself. It would take a whole separate video, you know, but it's all about finding what works for you. What spiritual practice, what routine, what way it is that your spirit connects with earth most easily, Ironically, I will say another way to ground yourself is to smoke some marijuana, alright, which is a natural herb. Once again, something that literally comes from the earth, but that's not everyone's cup of tea. So, any way you can connect with earth is a good way to ground yourself, okay? And to cleanse your energies and spirits. Also a good way to ground yourself and to cleanse your energies to go into ocean water, because ocean water has natural salinity. It has natural literal sea salt. So, alright, these are signs that you are not grounded and you need to ground yourself, and some ways that you can actually ground yourself. Thank you for listening and watching. Thank you for just enjoying this video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, comment, and share with your friends and family. I am available for personal readings, so if you would like to get a personal reading from me, check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com, or you can call me or text me at 703-791-9162. Check out my social media, Lamarr Townsend Tarot, on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll see you in the next video, or I'll see you for your own personal reading.